If you're over 70, you've probably heard it 1,000 times. Eat more protein. Your doctor says it, your family says it, and every health article you read seems to drill the same message into your head. But here's what nobody's telling you. That advice is incomplete. It's missing the single most important piece of the puzzle. You see, inside every muscle cell in your body, there's a biological switch. This switch controls whether your muscles grow or whether they shrink and break down. And that switch isn't triggered by just any protein. It's triggered by one specific amino acid called leucine. Most people don't know this. They eat more chicken and eggs and Greek yogurt, and they feel like they're doing everything right. But if they're not paying attention to leucine, they might as well be spinning their wheels. Let me explain how this actually works at the cellular level. When you lift weights or do any kind of strength training, you create tiny micro tears in your muscle fibers. Your body responds to this stress by triggering protein synthesis, which is the process of building new muscle tissue to repair and strengthen those fibers. But here's the thing, protein synthesis doesn't happen automatically. It needs a signal. It needs permission. And that permission comes from leucine. Leucine is one of 9 essential amino acids, but it's the only one that directly activates mTOR, which is the master switch for muscle growth inside your cells. When leucine levels are high enough in your bloodstream, it flicks that switch to the on position. Your muscles receive the signal to build. If leucine is low, that switch stays off. Your body doesn't build muscle. It might even break it down for energy. This is why eating more total protein without considering leucine content is like trying to start a car without turning the key. You might have plenty of fuel in the tank, but nothing happens. So what foods are actually rich in leucine? The answer might surprise you. It's not just about eating more meat. Eggs are excellent. A single large egg contains about 500 milligrams of leucine. Greek yogurt is fantastic too, with about 400 milligrams per cup. Cottage cheese is another winner. Chicken breast has it in abundance. But here's something most people miss. You don't need massive amounts. You need consistent amounts, spread throughout your day. Most research suggests that you need about 2 to 3 grams of leucine per meal to optimally trigger that muscle-building switch. That's roughly the amount in 3 eggs, or a cup of Greek yogurt, or a 4-ounce serving of chicken breast. The problem with how most older adults eat is distribution. They might have a small breakfast with no protein, a light lunch, and then a big protein-heavy dinner. That means their leucine levels spike once a day. That cellular switch is off. Your muscles aren't getting the signal to grow. What you really need is what researchers call leucine threshold activation. That means hitting that 2 to 3 gram target multiple times throughout the day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, maybe even a snack. Every time you do, you flip that switch back on. If this video has been helpful so far, please hit the like button. It really does help me know that this kind of detailed health information is reaching the people who need it. Now let's talk about why this matters even more as you get older. Here's a hard truth. After age 30, we start losing about 3 to 5% of our muscle mass every decade. That rate accelerates after 70. The medical term for this is sarcopenia, and it's one of the biggest factors in lost independence and quality of life for older adults. But muscle loss isn't inevitable. It's actually preventable and reversible with the right approach. The combination of strength training and proper leucine intake can stop that decline and even build muscle back. I've seen it happen countless times. A 75-year-old who thought they were past their prime learns about leucine, adjusts their nutrition, starts a basic strength training program, and within 8 to 12 weeks, they're stronger than they've been in a decade. It's remarkable, but it only works if you understand the mechanism. It's not just about protein quantity. It's about amino acid quality and distribution. Here's a practical strategy you can implement starting today. First, look at what you're currently eating. Track your meals for a few days and note which ones contain substantial protein. Next, identify which foods are leucine-rich. I mentioned eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, and chicken. But also consider fish like salmon and tuna, beef, milk, and even plant-based options like soy and pumpkin seeds. They're lower in leucine than animal sources, but they still count. Third, redistribute your protein intake. If you're eating most of your protein at dinner, start moving some to breakfast and lunch. Aim for that 2 to 3 gram leucine target at each meal. It doesn't have to be complicated. Even a simple breakfast of 2 eggs and a slice of whole grain toast gets you there. A lunch of a chicken sandwich with a yogurt on the side hits it. A dinner of 4 ounces of salmon with vegetables checks the box. The fourth step is strength training. You don't need to become a bodybuilder. 3 days a week of basic resistance exercise is sufficient. Bodyweight exercises, dumbbells, resistance bands, or machines all work. The point is creating that stimulus that tells your body to build muscle. Without the training stimulus, leucine alone won't create dramatic muscle growth. But with training and proper leucine intake, you've got a powerful combination. There's one more thing worth understanding. Leucine doesn't work in isolation. It works best when you have overall adequate protein intake and when you're staying hydrated and getting enough calories. You also need micronutrients like vitamin D, zinc, and magnesium. These all support the muscle building process. But leucine is the ignition key. It's the one thing that directly activates that cellular switch. So the real message here is this. If you're over 70 and you want to maintain or build muscle, don't just eat more protein. Focus on leucine distribution throughout the day. Combine it with strength training. And understand that you're not just eating for calories or general health. You're eating to send a specific signal to your muscle cells. That signal says grow, get stronger, maintain your independence. If this information has been valuable, please share this video with someone you know who's over 70. If you have questions about implementing this, leave them in the comments. I read every single one. And please subscribe for more detailed health and longevity content that goes beyond the surface-level advice you hear everywhere else. Your body's ability to stay strong and independent depends on understanding the mechanisms behind the recommendations, not just following them blindly. Now you know the mechanism. Now you can take real action.
If you found this video helpful, you'll love my ebook, The Leucine Factor. It goes beyond today's lesson with practical meal plans, leucine-rich food lists, protein guides, recipes, and simple strategies to help you maintain muscle, strength, and independence as you age. Click the link in the description to get your copy, and don't forget to watch the next video to continue your healthy aging journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.